Our weekend promo said, hey, we got a big week. We're kicking the thing off with Kirby Moore. We did that Monday. That was terrific. And we're finishing it off Thursday, tomorrow, with Boise State Athletic Director Jeramiah Dickey. Big stuff.
Let's do it, bud. Let's do it.
So what are we going to do here? We are going to take everybody listening into a production meeting, if you will, a pre-show meeting, Prater, where we're going to go.
I'm taking down notes.
Right? Prater's got you. He has a pen in his hand. 24 hours from now, we're going to be sitting here with Jeramiah Dickey. And we're going to go over this. We're going to dot our I's and we're going to cross our T's. But we're going to ask for your help, Bronco Nation. You guys have questions you want to ask Jeramiah Dickey. So right now, the phone lines are open. 208-424-9300. Cloverdale Plumbing text line. Bring it. What type of stuff do you want us to ask him? We'd love for you to call and tell us one-on-one. Don't be shy, Bronco Nation. It's a couple times a year, Prater. We get Jeramiah in studio, and we want to take
Actually, I don't know if we've ever had him in studio.
No, you're right. A couple times a year, we get him on the show.
Yeah. This will be a special one tomorrow. We have to clean up and bring in the house cleaning lady tonight and do some vacuuming and some dusting. We might even have to find him a chair that's not 400 years old.
Yeah, good luck around here.
Yeah, I know. Man. Good luck with that.
But so we want your help on this. We're serious too. We're going to take some of these questions into serious consideration. And Bronco Nation, hell, you guys have been a fan of this program for a long time. You know, Prater's covered this program for a long time. I've spent a while watching this program and now covering this program, but I'm not a fan of this team, and neither is Prater. We're working this thing. We want to hear from the fans as to what they want to know from their athletic director and what type of questions we want to ask him, Prater. So I wrote down some stuff. I think you did too. And where are we going to go with this?
Well, I'm not going to share my questions because, this is for the listeners, and our questions will come tomorrow, and we'll finalize some stuff. I mean, we're certainly going to talk about the future of Boise State football. We're going to talk Andy Avalos. We're going to talk about $380 million in the Master Village and the North End Zone and the basketball complex and, maybe volleyball locker rooms and women's soccer lights and all the other things that he's got going on. And just kind of catch up with him for the issues of the day. We've got the basics covered, but there's always some really smart Boise State fans out there. And this is where we want to hear from you guys in terms of questions. What do you want to hear? What do you want to listen to? What if you had Jeramiah Dickey? What kind of questions? What do you want to know from Boise State's athletic director who's out there taking care of names and kicking some butt, raising some money, and trying to make a difference with this athletic program?
We got some stuff coming in. Should I read some of these here and see what some of these guys want to hear?
Well, that's the point of the segment, Ballgame. Okay, so yes, why would you have to ask that?
JD has recently said,
did Jeramiah Dickey send in his own question?
No. This is from Dayton, but he's talking about JD.
Gotcha.
JD has recently said that Boise State athletics is the front porch of Idaho, this state. What plans are there to help expand the donor base outside of the Treasure Valley, namely the Magic Valley and Eastern Idaho? Feels like he flies over there. We hear about it every so often. I know Andy Avalos was there recently as well with Taylor Green, but Dayton wants to know what the plan is to, be able to take advantage of other sources of revenue, Prater, outside the Treasure Valley.
Wrote it down. There you go. Ray Melaleuca, Idaho Falls, plane flight to Idaho Falls. That probably resulted in a $5 million donation to a video board. So that's an important part of what Jeramiah Dickey is doing.
Brent, appreciate the call. Thanks for holding. Go for it, Brent. What do you want to hear from Jeramiah Dickey tomorrow on Idaho Sports Talk?
Well, one thing I've often thought is a school like Boise State, why wouldn't they have like a $5 million buyout on every single head coach? It seems to me that any program like Auburn, Arizona State, or Colorado that wants the current Boise State head coach wouldn't let $5 million stop them.
Are you talking just football?
Just football.
I'd have to go back and look at what Andy Avalos' buyout is on his contract before I could answer that question, because I think originally it was pretty close, at least a couple million. It may not have been 5, but I can look at that. But you could only do that for football.
Yeah, I'm just talking football.
Yeah.
His buyout was looks like it $2.5 million, but I need to figure that part out. I'll get to the bottom of that. So you'd like to see $5 million buyout is what you'd like to see. That's the point of this.
Yeah, to pay the coach $100,000 more. It just seems like a good trade-off for insurance.
Yeah, he doesn't want his coaches getting rated after a couple successful seasons, make it a little harder for schools to come in. Now, if it's a big school, Prater, I don't know if an SEC school would be scared of a $5 million buyout.
No. Avalos' contract, his original contract, it was a $3 million buyout as it started, and then it drops $1 million this year. It drops $1 million again next year, and then it stays at $1 million through the end of his contract in 2026.
Okay, so that's essentially they're saying, Andy, if you want to leave at this point, go for it. We're really not going to stop you. $1 million, I would say, is chump change.
Yeah, right now it's 2.
Mm-hmm.
It started off as 3, and when the contract expires, it'll be 1. Which, that's none of that is going to be. And I would imagine the future, if it was $3 million in the beginning 2 years ago, I would imagine the next coach, whenever that is, hopefully it's 100 years from now after Andy Avalos retires, but the next coach, the buyout would probably be more than $3 million.
I would imagine so too. And right now, I mean, I don't think Boise State fans are worried about Andy Avalos getting poached by the big bad SEC. I think they're worried about this non-conference schedule this season and trying to get back to win a conference championship, something this program has not done since 2019.
The Avalos, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I guarantee you they were not even close to $1 million. So when Jeramiah Dickey came in and bumped up Avalos' buyout to $3 million, the Harsin buyout and the Peterson buyout were pennies. I have no idea what they were, but I promise you they weren't $1 million, not even close to $1 million. So I think Harsin got out of here for a couple $100,000, if I remember right. So
wow, is that small, huh?
Yeah, that's how my memory tells me that it was that small. But so Dickey did come in and significantly bump up that buyout.
All right, these are coming in fast. Stephen in Boise, Prater says to Jeramiah Dickey, did your predicted challenges prove to be more true or more less? Pretty broad question there.
Did he have predicted challenges?
Whatever he said were his predicted challenges. I don't remember him specifically on anything other than just the normal challenges I would imagine an athletic director has, which is what he got here. His challenges were what? Yeah. The 2 biggest challenges: raise money and hire a football coach.
Well, and improve the infrastructure. I mean, that's part of raising the money. But yeah, improving the infrastructure, raising money, hiring a football coach, which he did in 7 days. He was hired on a Saturday, and the next Saturday he had an Andy Avalos press conference. So, and then he spent 100 days talking to the 100 biggest donors on Boise State's donor list, the top 100 money guys, and he made it a pact. He disappeared for a few months after he hired Avalos, and literally went and introduced himself to the top 100 donors on the Boise State football list. And I think that's what's paying off right now for him.
All right. Expand on that a little if you want to, Stephen and Boise, but always appreciate the text going through these. And
we'll ask him about what was the phrase, predicted challenges?
Yeah. The challenge. What were your predicted challenges? Do they end up being as big a challenges as you thought or less than that?
I guarantee you he continues to say it, but he says it with a qualifier now. 6 games, 6 sellouts. I guarantee you he's found out that it's not easy to sell out football games around here.
That's a good one.
He never backed down. He never backed down from his 6 games, 6 sellouts. He doubled down, he tripled down, he quadrupled down, but he also understands the difficulty of selling out Albertson Stadium for a football game.
We're asking you right now because in 24 hours, Jeramiah Dickey is sitting between us in the rowpaint.com studio. So, we're going to prep for this interview. We have our questions and we want to get yours. Bronco Nation, it's for you. What do you want to hear from your AD? 208-424-9300. We'll get you in quicker if you call than you text. The Cloverdale Plumbing text line. JP, stand by. Let's get through some of these. Next one from Johnny Golf Game in Eagle, Prater. He says, ask Jeramiah what schools he would like to replace San Diego State when they leave the Mountain West. Not sure we're going to get a straight answer on that, though. Probably because he doesn't have one.
He doesn't have a voice. He doesn't have a say in the matter. He has very little say. He might have a couple opinions, but I guarantee you he won't share those. But we will ask him a more broad question about. That's a question for Marlene Trump. Marlene Trump, the Boise State president, is on the subcommittee that Gloria Navarez put together when she took over as commissioner of the Mountain West Conference. Marlene Trump is on that committee exploring teams to replace San Diego State if indeed they leave. I would imagine Marlene Trump either talks to and or debriefs or both sides of conversations with her athletic director. So he's in the loop, but they're not going to talk about that publicly. But he might have in terms of how you approach that. He may have some certain thoughts, and certainly that's going to be a topic for tomorrow.
All right, Scott in Boise wants to know, when the Mountain West receives its exit fees from San Diego State, how are those funds distributed and how are they used to help the conference? That's a question that we've been asking ourselves a couple times the last few weeks.
We can get confirmation, but I'm almost positive they'll just withhold this year's revenue check for about $6 million. They'll withhold next year's revenue check for about $6 million. And then San Diego State will have to pay roughly $5 to $6 million after that. How that payment is processed, I'm not sure if it comes in one lump sum, but San Diego State will not get a $6 million revenue sharing check this month like everybody else does.
Mhm.
And the same thing will happen next year in June because, San Diego State will still be a member of the Mountain West Conference next June. This will take effect in July 1st of 2024.
Yep.
So San Diego State will forfeit $12 million of revenue sharing over the next 2 years.
Dang.
And then have to pay $6 million in revenue back in fines back to the Mountain West Conference.
It must be nice being San Diego State. They just don't need that money, huh?
They're going to the Pac-12 so they can take that $6 million and quadruple it to $25 million.
Hopefully, if they get that type of money, sure.
The Pac-12 will get 20 plus
20,
million.
25 million per year.
San Diego State going to the Pac-12 will at least triple its money.
Okay, how about this one, Prater? Boise State, and this is no name McGee. Boise State has not awarded a varsity letter to any athlete since 2009. Will Boise State resume ever awarding a varsity letter? What is this? Like, I don't know. You have your Letterman sweater in your closet, JP, but Prater, the guy wants to know if Boise State's going to get back to the lettering system.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
They went away from it.
I did.
Okay.
I'm not even sure I knew they did that in college.
College, you letter in college.
Do
Yeah,
you?
you get Letterman's jackets. Yeah.
Do
You
you?
ever seen those guys wear them? Yeah. I don't know
From
how the
50
lettering
from
works.
50 years ago.
Yeah. Did you have a Letterman's jacket?
I still do. I still have it.
Mine's in my closet
Mine's
too.
in my closet.
JP,
I did not.
You didn't
I
have one?
I have letters, but I didn't have a Letterman's jacket.
Prater, we should do a show one day where we both wear our Letterman's jackets in the studio.
I'll bring mine in.
Hell yeah, man.
I'll bring
Oh,
mine
okay. Kevin in Meridian. We might have to turn this into a couple of parts, Prater. These questions just keep rolling in. Kevin in Meridian. By the way, Bronco Nation, well done. You sense this. You know your IED's coming on, and you want to know certain questions. Kevin in Meridian says, ask Jeramiah Dickey if he has spoke with anyone with Florida State regarding a return trip to Boise at any time. I think we've asked him that before. And I think the answer is, unfortunately, don't expect the Florida State game to ever happen. Correct?
I believe so. We can confirm that tomorrow. I believe the Florida State game is 1,000% dead, but we'll confirm that with him tomorrow.
This is from another Steve in the 541 Prater. Jeramiah Dickey, what is the biggest reason given to Jeramiah Dickey by other Power 5 expansion committees as to why Boise State is being overlooked or is receiving little interest? Basically, Steve wants to know for Dickey to call these Power 5 grounds and say, why not us? What are we doing? What do we need to do? Just kind of an update on that.
Okay.
Sound pretty good there?
Do
you want to take a quick one and come back and get the rest of these, Prater, or should we just move through these real quick?
Sure.
What do you want? All right, let's take a quick one. Keep them coming, and we'll get you on hold, too. If you want to call, it's a lot easier just to say it to us than to text us, but if you want to keep texting, that's fine, too. 208-424-9300. This time tomorrow, Jeramiah Dickey is on this show. What do you want to know from your athletic director? Prater in the Ballgame, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK, The Ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.
The connector